Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 4 stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with our 2022-2023 Florida Panthers series. Jeff, we are Pavel Bure. We are the GM and head coach of the Florida Panthers because we're that awesome. And this season
And
has
we
been
are
going
in
remarkably well.
first in the conference, second in the league.
Yeah, so just take a quick look.
And we were named one of the preseason favorites to win the Cup.
Absolutely. So through 30 games, we're 23-6-1, leading the Atlantic and the whole Eastern Conference. The only team ahead of us right now is the St. Louis Blues. So that's not bad.
And all of that with only one guy in the roster over the age of 30.
Who is?
Who's Alexander Ovechkin, who you're paying $6.7 million for his 1.5-star performance.
Well, whatever you need, right? He dropped. He was at 2 stars, or 2.5 stars. He's been kind of tanking, but he's down to 1.5. He's playing limited minutes. You know, he got 17 points in 30 games. We really can't complain too much. And Brewer Crew Kevin, welcome to your first FHM stream. Anything else of note? I don't really think so. We've been doing kind of well with our counter-punching goalies. Hellebuck's a little warm. Everything's been turning out just about as good as we could.
Yep.
Nobody's hurt right now.
A little bit of an injury to Alex Turcotte, but other than that...
Yeah, we stayed. Quick look at our lines. So we have Matthews, Rasmussen, Tippett, Huberdeau, Suzuki, Turcotte, Marcheshin, Vildari, Ovechkin, Tolvanen, who never came over. He stayed in the KHL, and we signed him as a free agent with Brett Kemp, who was a undrafted pickup for us, who's played actually quite well, and Nando Eggenberger, whose name
he played well last season, but then pretty reasonably well in the playoffs, but I remember him being pretty cold at the start of this year, and it looks like he's only got 5 points in 30 games, so...
Well, he's not playing
slipped a little bit in the second year, I think.
Yeah, he's not playing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing on average, taking a quick look, just over 10 minutes. So, you know what? I'm not too mad about having 5 points from him. Overall, just taking a quick look at our stat summary. You can see Matthews is actually probably at his slowest point pace we've had since we got him, despite the fact we're paying him more money than anybody else. 28 points through 30 games. We actually don't have a point per game player, which is probably the first time ever in this stream.
I think we'll get caught up, and Matthews still pretty big, much of a bargain at $10.8 million.
Yeah, but next year it goes off the chart, I believe. Next year he's up to almost 11.5.
Well, that's a cash though. We only care about the cap hit.
Yeah. We also have some upcoming free agents, including Huberdeau, but Huberdeau just wants a stupid amount of money. He's going to be 30 years old, and I think he wants a raise from $5.9 million. So we're going to wave him goodbye, and Ovechkin will be gone as well.
Yeah, he wants one of those kind of contracts you're actually seeing a lot of in the real NHL now. The second liner's getting $5 to $6 million, and just doesn't seem like a smart move for anybody who's doing it, and so I think we'll stay away from that.
Yeah, we do have...
And speaking of the real NHL, how long are you going to let it go before you ask me?
Quite a while. I was just going to point out, we also have 3 first-round picks, including LA and the Rangers. The Rangers, of course, are fighting for the top of the Eastern Conference, so that's not going to be a high pick. But the LA Kings are near the bottom of the Pacific, so that could be good news for us.
Because we own that pick, yeah.
Yes. And what Jeff is alluding to, of course, is if you haven't been paying attention to the news that was just released tonight, and this is Wednesday, July 25th, Trevor Linden, Canucks president of Hockey Ops, has been fired. Or, I'm sorry, agreed to mutually separate from the team or whatever, however you want to say it.
Just like we mutually separated him to the Islanders when Messier wanted to see.
Yes, and so Jeff floated out.
So yeah, we will. I mean, it sounds like
for Messier to come back.
Sounds like management is committing to the rebuild. So
yeah, so
we'll see how it works.
You want Messier to come over and start running things?
Yeah, sure. Can't get much worse. Why not?
I mean, he's been doing things for Sportsnet, so he might as well, right? Hellebuck through
Yeah, I mean,
played in 20 games, 15 wins, 2 shutouts, a 902 save percentage. Not doing great, but our whole team's not doing particularly well. Hopefully that increases a bit. And unfortunately, we lose this game because we lose 1-0. Tuukka Rask basically just stoned us. 36 saves. So can you even be mad at
starting
that?
to wonder a little bit about our offense. Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not. And oh no, because we brought it up, Rasmus Dahlin, our star defenseman, is gone for 8 weeks.
As we mentioned it, yep.
So Pierre-Éliott Joseph, who we actually got in a trade. I'm trying to remember who we traded for him. Nobody that important picked him up, so let's.
Yeah, it was quite a while back. I got to look at it.
So
it was Datsuk.
Oh, that's right.
After we signed Datsuk as a free agent, one of your other Russian reclamation projects
So we're gonna send.
that didn't really go anywhere.
Well, he brought us Pierre-Éliott Joseph, who was a first rounder of Arizona. Take a quick look here. So Joseph jumps onto the first line defense. I'm not sure I like that. Probably move Jake Bean up, and he'll go over Sebastian Aho. I don't actually mind him being on the power play even. That's fine. Penalty kill. That's fine. Alright, so we'll leave it as that then. If just thinking, if Ovechkin's not going to play well at 1.5 stars, we could put him. He is on a modified no movement clause, but we could put him on the trade block and see if anybody picks him up. 1.5 stars.
Unlikely with that contract, but you can try.
It's not going to hurt anything. Should Gudu, you're in the chat. Brewers crew, Kevin, if you're watching, what do you think? Should we put Ovechkin on the trade block, see if we can actually get anything for him?
And if I'm remembering correctly how the morale stuff works, you may make Ovechkin angry by doing that.
Well, he's playing third line right now, so.
No.
Yeah, we can't shop him because he has that, so he would have to agree to a trade. One of the other important things to do, and I'm not sure when we're going to have to deal with this, but we are the GM of Team Italy, because why not? We haven't been
Don't think we'll get that until the spring, until the World Championship. I think they got relegated down to 1B last year, so
Gudu says
that won't be happening until April.
No, we shouldn't. And Bruce Crew Kevin says, nah,
Yeah, leave it for now.
All right.
The one thing I'm looking at the lineup and wondering if maybe we should, is the Dahlin injury kind of exposed it, if we should have one more guy who can produce a little more from D.
Well, we have some guys
I
coming.
mean, Aho had 37 points last year, but he's not getting nearly as much this year. Oh yeah, what's down in Springfield?
Like we got some guys coming.
Put down 2.5 stars. He's not going to get that much better. Ruben will get there eventually, but he's only 1.5 stars now. I don't think anybody's really ready yet.
Actually, the guy who's getting very close, and actually I kind of wish I didn't send down, was Quentin Boulien, who was I believe he was a first-round pick. Got a quick check here. Yeah, first-round pick last year is up to 2 stars. And so he's doing pretty well in the queue. 30 points in 29 games.
Oh yeah, he's already better than half the guys we got in the AHL.
I know. Case McCarthy.
So I think he's going to stick next year.
Yeah, I think he will. That's why I don't want to get in too panicky of a mood. Of course, we also have
fair enough.
Bromley, who is our great American. I was thinking, Kane Riley. That's the guy, the Australian defenseman. Has 9 points in 9 games playing in the Australian League. We drafted a couple of Australians, including a goalie as well, who's got an .898 save percentage in 7 games playing in the Australian Under-18 League, which I'm sure is just top competition, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Scott Penn's fan, good evening. Thanks for coming out. We got a game versus the New York Islanders and a game versus Dallas. The Islanders are sitting in 9th place. Dallas is sitting in the middle. Okay, so it doesn't really matter who we're going to play here. We'll just leave Hellebuck in, see if he can get a win, and he doesn't. He blows it bad, and we lose 5-1.
Ouch.
Ovechkin takes a penalty for roughing. Pierre-Olivier Joseph comes in and gets the only goal, actually, to make it 2-1 in the third period, and then we give up 3 straight goals. That's unfortunate. So,
And kind of worrying about the production lately. That's tailed off a bit.
Stop freaking out. It'll be fine. Probably.
Okay.
And we'll put Carter Hart in for this one.
He's actually been playing pretty well for us
He has
after he got
10 games, 8 wins.
pushed out of the starting job in Springfield last year. Yeah.
917 save percentage, playing against Ben Bishop, who's still in Dallas, who's actually backing up by the looks of it. Only 11 games played, or he's been hurt. And we lose again, but we lose in overtime at least. 5-4. It actually went to a shootout. So, to make you feel a little bit better, it was actually 4-1 after the first period. And then we turned around to get it back.
At least a point, yeah.
Aho scored the first one, assisted by Kemp and Tovin. Turcotte, Huberdeau, Ekblad, and Fleury, Suzuki.
Well, it looks like, after saying that about Hardy, it looks like he got pulled in the first.
Well, he should have.
Probably after that fourth goal. Yeah.
Give it 4 goals. So that's good news for Hellebuck coming in and playing strong, at least at the end. So not exactly what we wanted, but you know what? It's kind of a turning point, and, you know, we got some goals back, so Jeff can stop complaining about that.
And I did look, we're actually near the top of the league in goals for, so it was just a couple of games that slipped a little bit.
If you're expecting to play franchise hockey manager and win every single game, that would be very unlikely. In fact, I don't think I've seen anybody who's got an 82-win season. Although, if you have, please send me an image on our Facebook.
You could get one. It would just require a lot of patience and a lot of cheating.
Wow. Yes, that's not very fair there. Oh man, the Canucks are playing their goalies 5 fires hot. He's only got 15 wins through 30 games, but he's got 5 shutouts and a 916 save percentage here as of late. This could be bad. We play it and we lose in overtime again, or shootout loss. You know what? Again, can't be mad when you're playing against a goalie that hot.
That's Riddich used to be in Calgary system, if I remember right.
I believe so. Matthews scores, and Pierre-Olivier Joseph gets a second goal. So you're worried about defensive production. Pierre-Olivier Joseph seems to be coming in and filling those shoes a bit.
Yeah, not too bad. Would be nice to get a win, though.
Yes. And so we see some big trade here. Keandre Miller and Lesker Santi Koivula?
Come on, try it.
That is a tough one.
I haven't seen it yet. Waiting for the screen to come up.
Yeah. And I have Senators for Vince Pedri and a 6th-round pick. Pretty even.
Alex, and you've got the pop-up over the name. Alex Santeri Koivula. Never seen the first name before, but...
Oh, well, that's... Ottawa's getting ready to fire their coach.
Radcast asking if we think Vegas is going to be as good as they were last season. Highly unlikely, but everyone's afraid to make a prediction about Vegas now.
I see
After they made everybody look stupid last year. Yeah, I haven't noticed anything. What are you seeing, Guda?
Yeah, but I haven't had an issue yet. I don't think Vegas can be as good as they were last year. I mean, losing James Neal, losing David Perron's going to hurt a lot. And honestly, they built up a lot of momentum at the start of the year. I'm not sold that they're going to be able to do that again. And I know people, how can you doubt them? Well, it's just, one of those things. Gudu, I think that might actually be a issue with Twitch, if that's happening.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm keeping an eye on the stream itself, and hasn't blacked on me for...
Well, who got hurt? Oh, Nano Eggenberger got hurt. Thigh muscle strain. So that means Grigory Govets is coming.
Who's kind of quietly having a decent rookie season.
Yeah. He's got 7 points through 25 games. It's not bad. Govets draws in. Wait a second. Whoa. Okay, well, that's part of the problem.
What's part of the problem? What problem?
Barkov's been sitting on the bench.
What?
Barkov's not...
did he come back? How did we...
So we'll get Barkov.
Oh, he bruised his jaw on December 2nd, so we had taken him off for that, and I guess you didn't...
I forgot to put him in. So
he must have come back after when you saved it last time. We didn't realize he was uninjured, so oops.
So he's in.
Gonna be happy with us.
Govets gets pulled out then instead. But who came in?
No, that's 12 forwards.
I know, but I mean, Eggenberger hasn't hardly missed a game. So who was Tolvanen's only played 18?
Rasmussen. Rasmussen was the guy that was sitting. He's only played 24.
Well, Tolvanen's got less than him. Rasmussen's been playing.
Oh, Tolvanen, yeah.
Played most of the games. Yeah, it's got to be Tolvanen. Hasn't got into a lot.
Although he's still a little room to develop, so.
All right, so let's.
And he's no worse than Godovets unless you want to just switch him to try him. But he's a natural left wing, and we've only got a couple other of those. Okay. And we probably should try to get him moving up because he's going to be in Huberdeau's spot next year after Huberdeau leaves.
I've actually got this. Just redid the line, so it bumped everyone around. Bean, Ekblad, Aho, Fleury, Joseph, Hughes on defense. Then we got Matthews, Barkov, Tippett, Huberdeau, Suzuki, Marcheshin, Tolvanen, Vildari, Turcotte, Kemp, Rasmussen, Ovechkin on fourth line.
Yeah. Have a look at the power play. Make sure Ovechkin's getting some time there because that's about all he's good for at this point.
Yeah, we had put him on the point on the first one, which we will do again. Oops, did I not? All right, there we go. And if it's a 5-on-3, he'll still be that guy. All right. Okay, well, that'll help some of our production probably a bit. Jeff, you're supposed to catch those things. And we come out and actually just stomp all over the Lightning. We only give up 11 shots on net.
Sorry, Barkov.
And, well, he comes in and obviously helped the first
Think
line.
of how energized he'll be at the start of the playoffs with that extra week or so off in mid-season.
And we just lost Jake Bean for 3 weeks.
Wow. You're going to have to bring up somebody from Springfield.
Yeah.
I think Bodan was the only one that's above 2 stars now, isn't it?
Bodan, Haig is 2 stars as well.
Yeah, but he's 2-star potential. He's never going to get any better, so he's pretty much career minor leaguer. Bodan is at least half a star better. And looks like he's having a better season, too.
Yep, so I guess he's the guy coming up.
About even, actually.
So we'll call him up. Oops.
And I think, yeah, that'll be his first, if he gets into a game, that'll be his first NHL game in 23.
take a quick look. He's taken a long time to develop, but so yes, to turn into that 2.5-star guy. Bean we will throw on the injured list since he's going to be gone.
I'd almost be tempted to sit out Kale Fleury and try Baudin because Fleury hasn't done anything this season.
We need Fleury playing right now. I don't have an extra defenseman right now.
Dolan's out, Dolan's out, Bean's out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that should be 6 without the 2 of them.
Right now, the defensemen are Aho, Joseph, Baudin, Ekblad, Fleury, Hughes.
Right, that doesn't make... Oh, 70. No, yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay.
And there's 2 of them
Add
on
the
injured
pro-
reserve.
Yeah. So they're all playing?
Yes. As I said, we just don't have anyone else. I got to assign a number to Baudin, so you can have number 6. Sure. Game versus Anaheim. Put Carter Hart in. Let him run with this. And he actually picks up the win 3-2. So there we go. We've turned things around a bit. Baudin actually in his first game picks up the second assist on the first goal. So not a bad way to jump in. And yeah, can't really complain about that at all. So we're quickly approaching the end of the year, 2022. And you know, we're over the 50-point mark, so that's a good spot to be. Barring a complete disaster, knock on wood, we should make the playoffs, knock on wood.
I don't think we're going to miss the playoffs. What happens in the playoffs is another thing.
You say that, then watch like both of our goalies get injured, and suddenly we're down to having to quickly pull up the guy who even Springfield doesn't want to be playing right now. And man, every single goalie, it seems like we're hitting is 5 fires. Felix Peltier, 5 fires, 24 games played, 14 wins, 1 shutouts, 916 save percentage. Hellebuck's going to be in tough, and overtime loss. Probably a shootout again. No, overtime. We scored 2 goals to tie her in the third. Only 30 seconds apart. But couldn't pull off the win. Oh well. I won't feel too bad about it. That's right, too. We signed some guys to fill and play on our AHL team, and one of them just had an assist streak end at 8 games. And no, I'm not going to try and say his name, Jeff. You're more than welcome to try and say his name.
Haven't seen it yet.
No, it'll pop up here in a minute. Taking a quick look.
Elijah Galena.
Springfield is actually playing very well, but they're just getting kicked in their division. They're sitting in 5th in their division, despite the fact they're 23 wins and 13 losses, 2 overtime losses for 48 points.
Yeah, Xavier Semino having a pretty good season.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Take a quick look at their overall. And we can see, 35 points through 38 games for Semino. Which you should be doing. I mean, he had 97 points in the queue in his last year. Another free agent we brought over who showed up in our Seattle expansion franchise, Sebastian Sorensen, 20 points through 38 games. Not bad for coming over from the Norwegian League, I believe that is. Or no. Is that second tier Swedish?
Yeah. Swedish second division, no Svensson.
Yeah. And Sean Element, longtime guy, kind of still just dragging her. Jacob Pivanka, who was actually one of our first undrafted free agent signings, finally starting to put up some points. Got up to 2.5 stars. Not
Son
sure.
of Michael Pavanka, played for the Capitals in the 80s and 90s, or
Not sure.
90s at least.
Yeah, not sure he's going to turn into anything, but you know what? A little bit of hope there. And another guy who we brought over this year was Cedric Hosenchild, a Swiss guy who because we drafted so many Swiss guys, brought him over. Had 71 points playing in the Swiss Under-20 League, and 13 points through his first 36 games. Not bad for a first time.
Yeah, for a one-star guy, he's got a lot of room to develop, so he may turn into something just like Eggenberger. Wasn't that great when we brought him over either, I don't think, and he made the team eventually.
He was about half-star guy, so.
Yep.
I said, man, I can't even remember if it was FHM 2 or 3 when we first saw him, and I drafted him and had to keep drafting him every time I see him because I just love that name. It's a great name.
And going to be in the Canucks rookie camp this year.
So they're not they're not having, but they are having their spring or their August tournament, right?
Yep, yeah, the Penticton one.
Yeah. But
I haven't looked at dates on that. I mean to go every year, and I never wind up going because we're always in crunch time.
It's only the Jets going.
The game.
It's the Jets and like 2 university
I'm just
teams.
looking it up right now. Hang on.
Ugh. Injuries are piling up now.
Yeah, it's just the 2.
We just lost
Matthews. Uh-oh, how bad?
Concussion, gone 1 to 2 months.
Oh, boy.
Eggenberger still hurts.
Back to the playoffs, but...
I guess Govets is coming in. This is going to get a little rough. I don't even know if I can actually... I got to check here and see if I can actually put him on my injured list. Nando Eggenberger's back soon.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, so you should be okay to do that.
No, I'm more worried about the salary cap. Before it's $55 million. Okay, we should be okay doing that.
Yeah, you're fine.
That drops us to $59 million. We don't have a lot of room there. All right. Well, Jeff was worried about us.
And if I'm remembering right, it won't actually. It'll show up. It'll show you as being close to the floor, but it's actually counting the full salary against the floor. So I think you're okay regardless. I just don't think it displays quite right in the game.
And Ottawa fired their coach and brought in Pete DeBoer. I have only just put Govets on for. I'm just gonna actually make this switch here. We'll see how that goes. Put Tolvanen up to the first line. Didn't change power play or anything. We'll just see how this goes. It's in the game, and we lose 5-3. Ouch. Turcotte gets us. Well, I could move Turcotte up too. That might be the better choice. All right, we'll kind of refresh lines here and take a look at the beginning of January.
Yeah.
Or we got a game New Year's Eve, so I guess maybe that's what we're going to do. Jake Bean is ready to resume skating, so that's good news for us.
We were talking about the Canucks Young Stars thing in Penticton. Yeah, it's the way they're doing it this year. It's just a couple of teams have pulled out, so it's just Canucks and Jets playing a 2-game series. And for some reason, UBC and University of Alberta are playing 2 games in there too. And if you want to buy ticket packages, you got to pay for all 4 games, including the 2 college ones. that no one actually has any real interest in.
So there's some guys on waivers. Take a quick look. NHL poll results. Hardest shot is actually our called up defenseman Nicholas Bodine was ranked as the hardest shot. So that's apparently why he's doing well in the minors. Bring him up to steal.
That's kind of surprising. What's his? I'll take a look at his ratings.
Okay, toughest player is.
Oh yeah, he does have a freakish shooting range.
Okay, we have to go trade for this guy.
What's that?
Just wait till you the toughest player on Houston.
Canoed Winter.
I want that player on our team. I'm going to.
Let's see, who is he? He's a. Oh wow, 3 stars. Another Swiss guy.
Nude Winter.
Let's see, where'd they get him from?
Oh, his arms are terrible.
Oh yeah, really fragile.
Second round pick in 2021. Well, I guess we won't pick him up then. Even though he's unhappy.
Yeah, kind of a weird player. Big, huge guy. Really physical. He was tearing up like the lowest Swiss division. Then Houston used a draft pick on him. He had a point a game in his first 7 games in the AHL, so they called him up, and he's been playing okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
He's actually got some offensive ability too. This guy's wild.
I really want to kind of try and trade for him. Other than his arms, make me very worried.
Yeah, he'll break a hand or something fighting.
Should we try and trade for him? Just see what they want.
I don't think he really fits now, even
All
with.
right. Jeff doesn't want nude Winter.
I think the K is pronounced actually, so
I'm not sure about
it's just
that.
not as funny that way though. Canoed, nude Winter.
And Hellebuck's cold as Evan Fitzpatrick blanks us 4-1. And we go into January of 2023 in a tailspin. Dun, dun, dun. And okay, good news. Nando Eggenberger is back. Alright. Jack Hughes is named, who was drafted by Philly, is named Player of the Month. 46 points through 41 games. Yeah, I'd say so. And
That'll do it, yeah.
Vancouver goalie David Rich has been the best goalie of the month. Development report. Everybody's going up, so at least Ovechkin didn't go down. Ryan Suzuki has finally turned a corner. He's up to 2.5 stars out of 3. So maybe he'll come play with his brother soon. And
Let's see, I'm just looking him. Oh, is he not even on Springfield yet?
no, he's still playing. He keeps wanting to play college hockey.
Oh, right, he is. Oh, okay. Wisconsin putting up some good numbers there.
Our Japanese draft pick, Aito Edeguchi, is up to 26 points in 25 games. So that's
In the
good.
WHL, yeah.
Yeah, playing for Vancouver. All right, important guys. Harlan O'Halloran's up to a half star, 3.5 star potential. Just improving in everything, so that's good. Ooh, Morgan Guava, who's actually on the RAHL team. He should actually probably be playing somewhere, but because this was on a very early build of the game, Florida doesn't actually have an ECHL equivalent, so he's on the reserve team playing.
Yep.
And getting better at least, so that's good. And Lucas Lundberg, is that how you say that name? I'm not sure. Defensive defenseman, 2 assists through 30 games in the SHL. But, you know, he's a long-term project.
Yep, 4-star potential. Oh.
Yep. We do have some guys in the SHL who are starting to turn corners, which is good. Rasmus Dahlin, despite being hurt, still getting better as well at acceleration. So that's good. All right, time to redo some things. So Govets is coming out, and we're replacing him with Nando Eggenberger. All right, we're going to redo the lines and see what it comes up with. Alright, so Eggenberger is actually centering the 4th line with Marcheshin and Ovechkin. Let's see, Suzuki, Barkov, Tippett on the 1st line. Huberdeau, Kemp, Vildari. I don't like that. Vildari's going to center that. We'll move Turcotte up to the 2nd line. And actually going to move Tolvin up to the 2nd line. Put Huberdeau down on the 3rd line. And flip Eggenberger, or flip Marcheshin and Ovechkin. And Marcheshin's actually
no point in
3rd line.
Pumping up Huberdeau's contract value for next year for him.
Yeah, so we'll move him down to the 3rd line. And that should give us a little bit more flexibility. Go to the power play. Ovechkin can go sit on the point. So hopefully that little bit of tweaks will help. I'm sad that Hellebuck lost his heat, which at times has been very hard to build.
Now, part of the problem is we're giving up so few shots. It's hard for him to get into situations where he's going to heat up, get a lot of work.
Are you saying our defense is too good?
Too good defensively.
Okay, let's switch tactics, and that'll help.
You could bump up the risk taking a little bit. I don't think that's going to hurt us with a 4-star goalie in.
All right.
And we do need to replace the Matthews offense somehow.
Our owner is not happy with the last month because we were under 500.
Ouch! Yeah, that was kind of a rough December.
But overall, we're still don't have any drop yet, so that's okay. So you're saying our strategy, we should change our global tactics to offensive risk taking to very high risk?
Not very high. That's too far. I would just switch it to high.
Fine, high. You're no fun. Game versus Chicago, sitting at 46 points. We're actually going to put Carter Hart in for this one. Back-to-back games, so. Playing against Philip Grubauer, who's actually in Chicago right now. Both guys have played 12 games. Grubauer has only 5 wins, but has 2 shutouts to 9 wins for Hart. Sum it out, and we win 4-2. Huberdeau scores, Rasmussen scores twice, and Huberdeau scores on the 3rd. Alright. And even better news, Nick Suzuki's now injured day to day. Because of course he is.
Okay. Well, we were doing a little too well with the injury-free stuff.
What do you mean too well? It's been like 2 games. So we're just going to put Grigori Govets...
No, I mean, the start of the year we had very few injuries.
Yeah, we're just going to put Grigori Govets in for him. We're not going to switch anything. He's just going to play number 1 line.
I'll see what he does.
It shouldn't be a long injury. It says day to day, so. Trade between Boston and New York. Louis Dominique goes to Boston for a 2nd round pick. Ooh. Game versus the Rangers. We'll leave Hellebuck in. And playing against Tristan Jarry. Sum it out, and we get the win, and Hellebuck gets hot. All right, 3-2 win. Gave up 35 shots against, so... Guess who gets 2 goals? Grigory Govets comes in and scores 2 goals.
Okay, so he made pretty first line time, so he can stay there for a bit.
And Nick Bodine comes in on the power play and scores a goal.
I think that tripled Godovets's output for the year.
He did, or doubled it. More than doubled. He had 1 goal, I think, so. Paid off.
Yeah, so he went from 1 to 3, so it tripled it.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I don't. It seems odd to say tripled.
How many guys we got in the injury list now? 4?
I believe 3.
Or 3?
I did not put Suzuki on the list. He's only day to day.
Okay.
And Bean's 1 to 2 weeks. Matthews 2 to 3 weeks, and Darlene's 1 to 2 months still. And we got a game versus Tirana Maple Laughs, who have, of course, their more recently signed center, whose name is suddenly escaping my brain and I can't think of. John Tavares, there we go. But they are
that
playing
guy.
Awful. How's Radish doing? 24 points through 42 games. Nothing amazing. That was well worth what we got in compensation for him. Their goaltending is not very strong. So good for us. And we'll play this.
Although looking at Vincent Trocheck, who was the guy we traded to get rid, he's finally slipped a little bit this year. Not only he's not playing first line minutes in Tampa anymore. He's like a second liner in San Jose. So that trade doesn't look quite as bad.
Huberdeau scores again. Bodine scores again. These guys are making it tough to take them out of the lineup. Oh, Huberdeau scores third.
So,
man. Grigory,
so I guess that
improves on
newspaper thing about Bodin's best shot in the league was more or less true.
Absolutely.
I got to check the formula for that, though. I'm surprised that his accuracy isn't that great. His range is just really good. So I got to see what's... there must be somebody in the league who's got a better shot than that.
Apparently not. Guy Boucher, who's been holding on to his job with Philadelphia, because that's where he's been, is looking like he's going to get fired.
Yeah, they're having a pretty rough year. Looks like Nolan Patrick just can't get it together with him. He's a really slow developer. Had a good half season, then got hurt, and is back to sort of second line status, I guess, this year. Although Jack Hughes, on the other hand, is 5-star, and
Ripping things up.
I wouldn't mind having him. Yeah.
Ooh, Jacob Pavanka, playing with our minor league team, 22 points through 44 games, just got a lacerated forearm tendon, so he's gone for 3 months.
So even Springfield's getting hurt with the injuries.
We'll deal with it as we can. Boom, boom. I'm kind of at a point where I want to go see how New Winter's doing. What?
Houston's actually having a pretty good season.
They are, finally.
Yeah.
Nick Suzuki back soon. Oh, that's good news. We're not going to miss with
He's
that,
only day
though.
to day.
Playing versus Boston, and then who was the other one? Montreal. Montreal's up high, so we'll let Carter Hart play against them. Hellebuck, sub it out, and we lose, and Rask gets even hotter. We give up 44 shots against. We don't score a goal.
Ouch.
But the good news is we took out Vyacheslav Voinov, who apparently has returned and is playing for Boston. We took him out for 10 months with a concussion.
Wow.
So he got rocked into literally next year. Now, to be clear, I'm not making fun of concussions. They're terrible and horrible things. Having experienced some of that stuff. But the other Sebastian Aho, not to be confused with the Sebastian Aho we have, had 4 assists in a game versus Arizona. Still playing for Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, so 6-1 win.
Had a pretty big year last year in the game, 72 points.
Game versus Montreal. Oh, Carey Price is literally on 5 fires, so this probably isn't going to be very good. And we lose in overtime, 3-2. Going to a shootout, actually, so Nicolas Baudin keeps chipping in some goals, so that's an assist.
Yeah, it looks like Montreal, just looking at their lineup, has Price and very little else.
Well, that's pretty much how they are.
But they're actually playing pretty well. I guess Price is carrying them. How much time we got left on the Matthews injury?
Just looking, just because Suzuki's back and Bean is ready for full contact. So Suzuki, we will put him in for Govets. And actually, Pierre-Olivier Joseph got hurt too, hamstring cramp.
Just day to day, though?
Yeah. Jake Bean's day to day now. Matthews is 1 to 2 weeks. Darlene's down to 2 to 3 weeks. So
okay, so everybody back by the.
Don't say
what's
that.
The date now?
That's how so many.
Well, everybody that's injured. Oh yeah, it is possible for guys to get injured to have a setback, so that might screw us up. But assuming everybody recovers, we'll have them back all well before the trading deadline, so we don't have to make any panic moves.
And Bob.
We'll wait until we get more injuries to make the panic moves.
Bob Budner is back as head coach of Philly, replacing Guy Boucher. Scott Penn's fan 66 in the chat.
Well, yeah, he is 6'4", so it's credible. He could have played basketball.
You want to read that out loud for people who, if they're watching this on YouTube, who have no idea what it is?
Nude spelled backwards as dunk. Maybe he started out as a basketball player, then switched to sport and changed his name.
It's very possible.
One of those Swiss basketball players. Big basketball country, Switzerland.
I'm sure. Game versus Calgary here. Sent through it, and we pick up another one, 4-1. 63 points on the year. Ovechkin finally buries his 10th goal of the year. That seems to be a long time coming. Tippett, Nando Eggenberger grabs his 3rd goal of the year as well. This is by Kempen Turcotte. Zach Fisher is on waivers, 2.5 stars. Talent, 2.5 star potential, 25 years old, 17 points in 47 games with Edmonton. Nothing great, but nothing bad. Jake Bean will be back soon, which I guess means the hardest shot guy will be headed back to the minors.
Unless we move Fleury instead. Or is Baudin, is he waiver eligible?
He is, yes.
I can't see the roster. Or waiver exempt, I mean, he has to go on waivers?
No, I'm pretty sure
We're
he's
gonna
waiver
wind up-
exempt. Let me check.
Oh, okay. So then he's got to be the one to go
Still
back
playing
down.
for LA, and he destroys us because he's 5 fires too. So we lose 2-1. He took a long, hard look at himself in the mirror before changing his name, Kudu. Haven't you sent scouts out to Italy, or was that just Italian scouts you hired, Adam? We sent scouts out all over the place. We can take a quick look. I've just kind of been letting
Good. Yeah, I just looked at your scout list, all the guys you've hired.
Yeah, we scout a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
We have guys all over to scout everybody.
We actually got 2 Italian scouts.
We did. We hired them in our last game, in fact, if you remember, Jeff. So injured list. Oh, they're still day-to-day. Actually, Matthews is down to day-to-day too now, so. Oops. So you can see here, we have a lot of scouts. A lot of scouts. And I'm letting the CPU do this because this is, again, this is one of our original builds of Franchise Hockey Manager because we've been playing this one for so long. There's been a couple changes in the scouting. And so, for instance, you can assign guys to permanently scout regions. That's not, I can't do that in this particular build. Just because, again, we've been playing this for so long. So I'm just letting the CPU do a little bit. You'll see some names that you will recognize, like Don Waddell, current president of and GM of Carolina now, is one of our scouts.
It's funny, I actually see 2 guys. We got 2 guys on the scouting list who are on our roster in the other game.
Yeah, Michel
Goulet and Paul Matier.
Yeah, Paul Matier, Steve Casper,
Luke Robitaille.
Lawrence go Norm McIver. Yeah, Luke Robitaille, Brad McEwen, Anders Forsberg. I said when we started this, Timo Solani is another one there too. We wanted to build through the draft. So what's the best way to build through the draft is having lots of scouts. And so we did hire a couple of Italian. Kimmo Timonen, another one there. Jason Arnott.
And it also doesn't hurt that we keep trading for draft picks that turn out reasonably well. Speaking of which, how bad are they? Oh,
How bad or what? Sorry, you cut out there.
the Kings?
The Kings. So just Ricardo Boy and Sasha Kofler. We hired basically for the simple fact of trying to get a better idea of what Team Italy would look like. The Kings currently
Oh, yeah.
are still in second last. They're 20, 25, and 3. And I mean, they just beat us, so. Because quick.
Okay, solid lottery pick still.
Very much a good chance. Put Hart in for this game versus Arizona. And he picks up the win. 5-1. Alex Turcotte gets his 7th goal of the year. Olivier Joseph.
Quick must have really had a hot run there because he was terrible at the start of the year.
Yeah, he's picked it up. Ekblad scores twice. Hughes gets his first goal of the year. And we feel a little bit better about ourselves. 65 points. Yeah, I decided to take over another national team. We've previously ran some other ones. We're still building our reputation, so we're not getting a lot of great jobs or job offers right now because we've been so low, because we were having a tough time, but as every year as we improve, we're getting better. And Jake Bean is now back. And okay, so Nick Bodine is actually hurt, which makes this even better. He's got a sore groin. He is waiver, or we can send him down to. Oh no, he's got to be on waivers. I didn't think he had to be. Ugh.
Oh, he does. Okay, so it's him or Flurry.
Well, it doesn't matter right now. He's hurt, so
Yeah.
I guess I could hide him on the
Injured list.
injured list for right now.
He's-
But we need a seventh.
And maybe
defenseman,
sneak him
so-
through as their. Yeah. Well, just somebody to sit on the roster. We don't. 'Cause there's not really anybody better than 2 stars now in Springfield.
Yeah, so I mean, we could send Bodine down, but we'd have. Oh, man. Yeah, that's why we brought Pierre-Olivier Joseph up, was because we could have lost him on waivers. I mean, I guess we can look at taking Cal Fleury out of the lineup too and try sending him down, or we could shop Cal Fleury. Hellbuck loses. It was 4-3. Britton converts to right wing. Maybe that would be the smartest thing to do. We're just about out of time for tonight. As well. We'll have to worry about that as everybody comes. And turmoil in Detroit. As a coaching change might come to Detroit. And some draft rankings, and we have a storyline that we haven't seen yet. Anthony DeAngelo's home has been robbed. The defenseman has told media. They took pretty much everything, completely cased the place, said the 27-year-old grimly. I'm not really sure it was someone who I knew. I was a pro hockey player or just a random thing, but it felt terrible either way. Thankfully, DeAngelo said his family wasn't home during the incidents. We can replace possessions, but no one was hurt. That's the main thing. Radek Vasquez said morale around the locker room is low, but they're trying to band together to help DeAngelo through the situation. We're all bummed out, but happy he's okay, and hopefully they can catch the guy who did this. DeAngelo's morale has declined, for obvious reasons.
And it actually looks like he was just called up from Dallas, or from Texas to Dallas not long ago. So, welcome to the pros, kid. Probably shouldn't have bought a house in, like the first week you got called up.
Okay, here's a question that I can't think of off the top of my head. Where does Texas play out of?
Oh, Texas. I thought you
Texas
meant it was
Yeah, not Dallas.
Cedar Park, Texas,
Okay.
which I got to look up. I think that's a suburb of San Antonio, I want to say. Cedar Park is Austin, suburb of Austin.
Okay. Austin Matthews is getting close. Game versus Colorado here, summing out, and we pick up the win, beating Braden Holtby and the Colorado Avalanche. Which is good. So 67 points for the year. Beauty Creative says, need to get some Italian national team players into Springfield to develop. That's not a high priority.
Not a bad idea. Yeah.
Okay, just to I'll take a look here in a
I
second.
mean, that's how I cheat in Football Manager whenever I get the Canadian national team.
And we pick up a win, 6-5 versus Calgary, back-to-back wins. We can feel pretty good about that. What I'm actually curious is we'll just see if there's any Italians in the upcoming draft. And so we'll check here. Austin Matthews is back soon. That's good news. As this is probably about where we're going to wrap it up. So NHL entry draft looking at. So Canada, Finland, United States. So if they're here, they're on page 4. And there is Mexico. Oh, New Zealand. Okay. Germany. So there is no Italians to be drafted.
I'm just going to see. I'm going to do a search form to see if there's anybody even better than 1 star with Italian nationality. I'm kind of suspecting. Oh, there's a couple of guys, but it's all Canadians and Americans who've got Italian second nationality. Nick Patan, Marco Scandella, Michael Delzato.
All right, so we have a chance of finding
First actual. Oh, there's one. There's one 1.5 star guy playing in. Not even sure what league that is. Oh, he's in Sweden.
Okay. All right. Well, I think this is kind of the right spot for us to end for the evening. So thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager 4 stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey, where you can also find a link to our official Discord channel in our Twitter profile. If you want to reach out to us on our official website to talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Puck Baseball, or anything else, all you got to do is go to ootpdevelopments.com, click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, and that'll bring you down to our official forums. We'll be back next week with the 1980s Toronto Maple Leafs game that Jeff is forcing me to do. Jeff, what's been happening in that, if you haven't been watching?
Well, we're doing better than the real Leafs were. We've kind of headed up a little bit as opposed to gradually falling apart and completely writing off the 1980s. So I'm not ready to give us up on us yet. We've still got to deal with the Islanders in Montreal. We've actually had the same Stanley Cup winners in the game as in the first 2 years of real life, starting in we started in 79. Yeah.
Yep.
Or 78 rather. 78 because we had to wait the expansion, 79, 80. So it's been kind of true to life so far, but we're a lot better in much better shape than the actual Leafs were at that point. So maybe we can actually do something once the Islanders go downhill if the Oilers don't pick up the slack like they actually did.
Here's hoping. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.